What up, guys? GangstaPranksta here, bringing you a new episode of the Weekly Wrestling Review. If you're new to the show, this is where we talk everything about professional wrestling, from news, reviews to predictions. We talk about it all. So if you're a fan of professional wrestling, welcome to the show. I know it's been a while, but hey, let's forget about that. Let's just catch up on some good old wrestling. So on today's show, we got reviews. Now I know Survivor Series is around the corner. I think it's tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. But we're gonna have reviews for Battlegrounds. That's how far behind we are. We're gonna review Battlegrounds, and then 2 weeks with the RAW, Smackdown, Impact, NXT, and Ring of Honor. On the next episode of the Weekly Wrestling Review, which hopefully will be out fairly soon, I'll have reviews for like Hell in a Cell, Bound for Glory, all that good stuff. But I'm very behind, and I apologize. So let's just jump into some reviews. First, let's talk about Battlegrounds. Battleground was going to be the first show that we talk about, and it was just a terrible show, honestly. Like, there was only a couple matches on here that were good. Everything else was pretty much just shit to blah. Like, it was a terrible pay-per-view, and like, this is a brand new pay-per-view that they've introduced into their yearly thing. You know what? Personally, I don't want to see Battlegrounds ever again, because if this is what they have to offer from now until whenever, then I don't want to see it. For WWE, talking about how, oh, we love the WWE universe, we want your opinion. I don't know why they don't bring back a pay-per-view like Taboo Tuesday or Cyber Sunday. I think it would work perfect. It would get their social media stuff way up there. Everyone would be on the app to vote. And I think it would be a lot better, especially than Battleground, because it was just absolutely awful. So let's actually talk about the show and why it was so terrible. So it started out with Del Rio versus RVD in a Battleground hardcore match, because I guess that's what the pay-per-view is named after. It's Battleground Hardcore Rules, whatever. For the World Heavyweight title, this was a good match. El Del Rio wins. It was a good way to start the show. This was one of the highlights of the show. It pretty much went downhill from here. Next, we got the Real Americans versus Santino and Great Khali. They're like, hey, we have a lot of time to fill and not a lot of matches on the show. Let's throw a couple more matches on the show. This was one of them. The match was pretty much blah, except for Antonio Cesaro. Like, when he did the giant swing on the Great Khali, that's pretty much the only thing worth talking about. That was great. Antonio Cesaro, he's pretty much like a human highlight reel. Like, he is fucking crazy at the stuff that he does, doing the giant swings. Oh shit, who was it? It was on one of these episodes of Raw or Smackdown. When I read the results, I'll let you guys know. But he just had someone in a giant swing, and he swung with them for like 25 seconds. It was crazy, and he pretty much did that with the Great Khali, which was absolutely nuts. And goddamn, Antonio Cesaro is the man right now in WWE. Alright, so next we got Curtis Axel versus R-Truth for the IC title. This was just okay. This is like a basic Raw match, nothing special. Next we got Brie Bella versus AJ for the Divas title. Again, this was just another okay match. AJ retained her title. Nothing big here. Next, we got probably the best thing on the show, because it wasn't, like, the end wasn't shit, the match wasn't shit. It was just a good match, and it had told a great story. The Shield versus Cody, Rhodes, and Goldust. If Cody and Goldust win, they get their jobs back. This was just a really good match. Probably the greatest thing on this pay-per-view. Is so good. They told a great story. I loved seeing Goldust back in WWE. It makes me so happy to see him, and then he's teaming up with his brother, and his dad's there, and I just thought it was a great match from top to bottom. And Cody, and whenever I see them, I want to call them Cody and Goldie, but I don't. I call them Cody and Goldust. But they ended up winning the match. We'll talk more about them later, but just as good to see Cody and Goldust back. And I want to talk about Cody for a second, because I never realized how much I liked Cody until he came back. You know, he came back. He's in this tag team with his brother, and I'm like, damn, you know what? I like Cody Rhodes now. Like, I really, really like him. Before, he was just kind of like whatever to me, but now with him in this tag team with his brother and this whole situation that's going on with him and the Authority, it's made me really like Cody Rhodes. So that's cool. And Goldust, I just fucking love Goldust, so you can't make me like him even more. So great to see Goldust back, and like I said, we'll talk about more about them in just a second. Next, we got Bray Wyatt versus Kofi Kingston. This was just this feud kind of came out of nowhere. They kind of build up towards it. They're just kind of giving stuff for Bray to do until they have something important for him to do. I know he's doing something with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk at Survivor Series, which is cool. But leading up to this, like ever since the whole Kane thing, he's pretty much been doing nothing. He had this little thing with Kofi here. He's going through his little thing with Miz. And then now he's doing this thing with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. I don't know. It's just whatever. And they had an okay match. Bray won. It was just whatever. Next we got CM Punk versus Ryback. Pretty good match. Punk wins. Like I said, pretty good match. The ending kind of sucked with the whole low blow thing. Just like, we're going to get another match out of this. Like, just seems like they're trying to stretch this out as long as they can. And if they continue, well, they're not continuing past Hell in a Cell, thank God. Because I don't know how much more I can take of this. Like, the feud was good with Brock Lesnar and Curtis Axel. But just to throw Ryback in there just to continue this whole feud, I don't really like it a lot. I don't like Ryback as a Paul Heyman guy. Just continuing this feud, just absolutely shit. And then they're gonna have a handicap match, I think, at Hell in a Cell, in a Hell in a Cell match. I don't know. I'm not too excited about that. And last but not least, the main event of WWE Battlegrounds in a rematch from shit. What was the last pay-per-view? Not SummerSlam. Was it Night of Champions? I think it was Night of Champions. Night of Champions, Battleground, Hell in a Cell. I think that was it. But anyway, so rematch from Night of Champions, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. This was a really good match. It was going really well. And then the ending, just absolutely shit all over this pay-per-view. It was a terrible way to end the show. So let's talk about how it ended. So, you know, they were going back and forth, whatever. And then Big Show comes out and then just absolutely just kills this match. He comes out, throws the ref out. He knocks out Daniel Bryan. Scarred Armstrong comes out, Big Show knocks him out, and then he knocks out Orton, and that's it. That's how the show ends. He knocks out everybody, and then that's it. I would be so pissed if I went to that pay-per-view or ordered it. Like, I just went, what a waste of money. What a terrible way to end the show. You're not going to give me an actual winner. You're just going to have Big Show come out and just shit all over everybody. And one thing I want to talk about is Big Show just absolutely ruining, I don't want to say ruin it, but like, I don't know, just the feud between Orton and Daniel Bryan, it just seems to be taking a back seat. I feel like Daniel Bryan, he should be more in the forefront, but it seems like Big Show's kind of taking his place. The focus is more on Big Show fucking with Triple H and the Authority than it is Daniel Bryan trying to become WWE champion in the face of WWE. I hate that they've gone away from that, and I believe at Hell in a Cell, Orton won and is the WWE champion. That's going to be him and Big Show at Survivor Series. I don't know. I just thought that was a terrible move. I would have liked to see Daniel Bryan at least let them go. Well, I don't know. Because, like, at Hell in a Cell, I believe Shawn Michaels is the ref. So possibly maybe have a match at WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan versus Shawn Michaels. Student versus the trainer. That would be great if they do that. Or have Daniel Bryan do his stuff with Bray Wyatt. And then go to Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, and then finally go on to WrestleMania and win the WWE title. That would be cool. I don't know if they're going to go that route, but it just sucks to see that Daniel Bryan's never going to get his big WWE title win. Well, I guess he did over John Cena, and that's a big win in itself, beating him on like one of the biggest shows of the year. But to, like, I don't know, just constantly be screwed by the Authority, and then for him never to get his you know, his big FU to the Authority, it just kind of sucked, and now they're going with the Big Show. I don't know, whatever, I just thought it sucked. Alright, so that was Battleground. It sucked, don't watch it. Next pay-per-view we're going to watch is Hell in a Cell. Hopefully it's a lot better. The matches I know going into it are Ryback and Paul Heyman versus CM Punk in a Hell in a Cell match. The return of John Cena taking on Del Rio for the world title, and then the WWE title match, which is Daniel Bryan, Orton, Hell in a Cell. and Shawn Michaels is going to be involved. So that's all I know for Hell in a Cell right now. It does look, I think a rematch of AJ and Brie is going to happen as well, but it sounds like a decent card. We'll just have to wait and see. But if it's anything like Battleground, then it's absolutely shit. Battleground sucked. Alright, next we got Raw. This is the Raw after Battlegrounds. I'm just going to pick apart some stuff I want to talk about. So we had Stephanie McMahon fire Big Show. That was whatever. Oh, okay, I got a perfect subject I want to talk about. On this show, the post-Raw Battleground, we had the debut of the Total Divas, the rookies, Eva Marie and JoJo. So the match was Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendez, and Oksana versus JoJo, Eva Marie, and Natalya in a 6-women's match. This was absolutely terrible. Holy shit. Okay, so you got Eva, Natalya, and JoJo. They win the match. So it's their first match. I don't know if it's their first match. I think it was Eva Marie's second match. I think it was JoJo's first match. I will talk about JoJo in a second because she did absolutely nothing. She didn't even get a tag in. She just stood there. It was pretty much a cheerleader. It was pretty much a 2-on-3 handicap match. And let's talk. So she did nothing. Then we have Eva Marie. She is just absolutely terrible, of course, because she hasn't been training as a wrestler. She might be doing some training. She's obviously not learning anything because she can't sell for shit. She needs to slow the fuck down. She just needs to I don't know, I guess she needs to relax, like, once she gets the hang of doing all this wrestling stuff and learning what to do. But I just feel like I could have had a better match than her, which is kind of sad, because I don't consider myself an athlete, but I think I could have had a better match. I at least know what to do. I watch the product. I know people's names. Jinder Mahal. That's just that's a tease of Total Divas. We're not going to talk about Total Divas on this episode, The Return. We'll talk about it when we get closer to the November date. So yeah, Eva, she's terrible. She's a terrible announcer. She's a terrible dancer. What else has she tried to do? Terrible announcer, terrible dancer, terrible wrestler, terrible actor. Everything she does sucks. She is beautiful. She is a great-looking model. She can take great pics. That's fine. She should have nothing to do with the wrestling business. Absolutely nothing. Stay away from what I love. It'll be a lot better for everybody. I don't know. Like, does she not get modeling gigs or some shit? I don't know, but I don't know why she's a pro wrestler. I don't see what WWE sees in her. I mean, we probably see the same thing. Oh, she's very beautiful, but she doesn't know anything about wrestling. Anything. Well, I'll give her a little bit of credit. She might know who Hulk Hogan is, but other than that, fuck her. No. What else do we got? Oh, Los Matadors. I want to talk about Los Matadors for a second. I want to talk about how much I actually like them. The more I watch them, the more I like them, because they're one of my favorite tag teams in WWE. I want to talk about tag teams in general. Tag teams on WWE have gotten a lot better. You know, we got the Usos, Real Americans, Shield, 3MB, Los Matadors. Who else? Shit, who else was there? The Wyatt family, Goldust, Cody, Rhodes. We got a couple tag teams. And Matadors is definitely up there for me. And for one reason, well, not one reason, but there's a couple reasons. But one of the big reasons I really like the Matadors is because they're actually a tag team. And a tag team that has a tag team finisher. A lot of these tag teams on WWE don't even have tag team finishers. I don't even know how you can call yourself a tag team without having a tag team finisher. They have some tag team moves where it's just like a move and then another move, like the Usos, where they I think it's a super kick and then one of them comes off for a big splash. 1, 2, 3. That's their finish. That's their tag team finish, but it's not really a tag team finisher. Where like the Matadors, they lift them up and then they slam them together, and that sometimes they include the bull. And I just really like that. I wish more teams actually had a tag team finisher. And I don't know. That's one thing I really like about the Matadors. They actually have a tag team finisher. I like it a lot. So Los Matadors, awesome, love them. The Little Bull, I don't know how I feel about them yet, but them as a tag team, I like them. What else do we got? They announced John Cena is going to be returning at Hell in a Cell. That's cool. You know, they made it seem like he was a lot more injured. Like, they announced that he was going to be out for like 4 to 6 months, and he comes back in 2. Now, I read something like they wanted to make it seem like they put this crazy, ridiculous timeline, like 4 to 6 months. So it's like, oh shit, we're not going to see Cena till maybe the Royal Rumble. Now, their whole thinking behind that was, okay, if we put it out for there's like, if we say, okay, he's going to be out for 4 to 6 months, and then he comes back in 2 months, that's just going to make him look more like a badass and like, oh, he's a really strong hero type thing. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? They did their job, because it does make him seem like the Terminator, like he just won't go away. And yeah, so John Cena taking on Del Rio for the world title. I know he wins the world title, which I kind of like, because throughout this whole time that there's not been a WWE champion, the World Heavyweight Champion, it just seems like it's the Intercontinental Championship, like from a long time ago, where like one of the top, if you're a top guy, you either held the WWE title or the Intercontinental title. Like the Intercontinental title was like, if you held that, you were a top guy, you were considered a top guy. And that's why I just feel like the World Heavyweight title is, like, you're not even the face of the company, and you just look really shitty, because the whole focus is on the WWE title, and the World Heavyweight title just gets absolutely overlooked on everything. Sometimes it even starts the pay-per-view, which is just terrible, but whatever. So hopefully with Cena actually being the World Heavyweight Champion, it will kind of elevate the title a little bit, having him as the champion. So we'll just have to wait and see with that, but hopefully that'll happen. What else do we got? That's about it for the Raw. The main event was the Rhodes family and Daniel Bryan taking on the Shield in a 6-man match. It was a good match. After the match, Big Show knocked out Triple H. So that was that. Next we got NXT. This was just a bland episode of NXT. The main event was RVD versus Aiden English, and I don't even know why they had this match. This was shit. Like, it was pretty much a 2 to 3 minute match, and it was just RVD destroying Aiden English. Like, you have Aiden English, you're bringing him up in WWE or NXT, you know, whatever. You know, you're bringing him up. This might be a top guy in WWE, and then he just comes in and gets absolutely destroyed by RVD. I thought there was really no point in this. Have like, what they should have done is have, like, RVD take on, like, a credible opponent, like a Leo Kruger or something like that. Or maybe Adrian Neville versus RVD. Shit, that would be awesome. But he just came in, destroyed Aiden English in, like, 3 to 4 minutes, and that's how they ended the show. What else? We had the debut of Mojo Rawley here. I didn't like it. I was not a big fan of Mojo Rawley, at least not in his debut match. We'll see how he progresses in his next couple matches. But I'm just not a big fan of his offense. Like, he actually did the Naomi butt move during the match. I was just like, what? Like, I don't know. And he has a stupid fucking name, Mojo Rawley. It's a terrible name. Not a big fan of his offense, but we'll see if he progresses. What else do we got? That's about it for NXT. Next, we got Impact. Of course, these couple episodes of Impact are leading into Bound for Glory, and I want to talk about this actually. These these episodes of Impact leading up to Bound for Glory, I thought they sucked. I mean, they were good shows, but these are supposed to be the episodes that make me want to buy Bound for Glory. Like, I just felt like there was no build-up, or no, I don't know, there was kind of some build-up, but I just thought the build-up sucked. Like, I thought they could have done a better job. They could have, I would like to see, like, I don't know what match they were building up, but they were doing some interview type things where they were just like, have the wrestlers sit down, give their thoughts on their opponents and stuff. I don't remember what match it was, but they just did that for a couple things. I thought, like, they should have done more stuff like that. Like, have Austin Aries, why is Bound for Glory special? Why is this, like, TNA's biggest show of them all? Like, explain what it means to you and stuff like that. And just go through the whole roster and have them, you know, talk about it. Like, oh, shit, it's a big opportunity. It's the biggest show of the year. We're going to go out. We're going to kill it. All the matches are going to be awesome. it's going to be the best wrestling that you've seen. There wasn't really any of that. It just, I don't know, I thought the build-up was pretty lackluster, so that was just me, though. Alright, so on Impact here, we have, what do we got? We have, alright, Samoa Joe announced he was going to be part of the Ultimate X match. That was, when I read that, I was like, oh, that's stupid. And then when I saw, I saw it and I'm like, or I read it and I'm like, oh, that's stupid, but maybe it'll make more sense if I watch it and actually see what happens, and it might make more sense. No, it didn't. It sucked, just as I read exactly what I saw, and it was stupid. So, whatever. Samoa Joe was in the Ultimate X match. Next, we got ODB versus Jesse. So, yes, I know that Jesse and Robbie E win at Bound for Glory, but before that, you have Jesse losing to ODB. Why? I have no idea, because they don't know what to do with Jesse and Robbie E. I know they're a couple of goofy guys and as a tag team, but you don't have to absolutely, like, just treat them like shit. Like, have them lose to a girl. That just kills them. That fucking kills them. It all started when Gunner and Storm became the tag team Gunner and Storm became the tag team champions. It seemed like they were going to build towards a Robbie E, Jesse versus Gunner and Storm feud. And then they just killed them, like, in a 2 to 3 minute match. Just absolutely destroyed Jesse and Robbie to the point where it's like, okay, they're not viable contenders. And then, you know, they lose to a girl, and then they end up winning at Bound for Glory? What? That doesn't make any sense. I'm a big fan of Robbie E and Jesse and their tag team, but I just felt they've been handled absolutely terribly, so that's stupid. Next, you got this was the Ego induction for Bobby Roode into the Ego Hall of Fame. This was a really good segment, promo, whatever you want to call it. You had Bad Influence that came out dressed as Dumb and Dumber to induct Bobby Roode into the Ego Hall of Fame. Roode comes out, thanks Ego, and talks smack about Kurt Angle. Kazarian, he put together this amazing little thing for Bobby Roode, this little promo package hyping him up. I thought it was great. This whole thing was great. Eventually, you had Kurt Angle come out and attack Ego and then challenge Roode to a match of Bound for Glory. It was just a really good thing. I thought it built up to it. Like, I'm still not a fan of this whole feud between Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle. I feel it's kind of rushed. But, you know what? This segment, it was awesome. I loved it. Check it out. What else do we got? The main event was AJ Styles versus Garrett Bischoff and Nux. Pretty good match. AJ wins. After the match, Bully attacks AJ with a chain. Next we got SmackDown. Oops, hold on, I lost where I was. Okay, what happened on SmackDown? We had a confrontation between Del Rio and Damian Sandow. I like this confrontation because it actually built up Sandow as a contender. Like, for the past couple months, we saw him get beat by Cody Rhodes. Like, okay, so he won the Money in the Bank, then he got beat by Cody Rhodes, then he got beat by Ziggler, then he got beat by, like, all these fucking people. And it just absolutely has been killing his momentum as the world champion. I guess they're kind of downplaying him and then eventually going to skyrocket him. But I'd like to have him, like, not totally be a jobber, you know? They're just absolutely killing him. But, you know, he had some good little, a good little segment here with Del Rio. And kind of put him back in that whole thing. Like, oh, Del Rio, you better watch out, I might cash in on you. And just kind of remind fans, like, hey, he still does have Money in the Bank. Even though he loses all the time, he still has it. And Damian Sandow, he got a good babyface reaction. So we'll have to wait and see. Is a babyface Damian Sandow in the near future? Maybe. What else do we got? That's about it. The main event of SmackDown was Rhodes, the Rhodes family versus the Wyatt family. Good match. The Rhodes won. There wasn't really much to talk about on this episode. Actually, yeah, we're done with that. Next, we got Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor was showing the finals of the Ring of Honor World Title Tournament, and Adam Cole ended up winning that, so big win for him. Next, we got Raw. Okay, so we had HBK come out and talk about Hell in a Cell and how, you know, there's going to be a WWE champion and he's going to make sure of that, whatever. What do I want to talk about here? Just reading my notes. Doesn't look like there was really much to talk about. Oh, okay, there actually is, because the main event, I totally forgot the main event of this Raw. It was awesome. It was a really good way to end the show. So the main event of this episode was the Rhodes family versus the Shield for the WWE Tag Team titles in a no DQ match. And this was just a really good match. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was just as good as their match at Battlegrounds. But this time it was for the WWE Tag Team titles. It was a really good match. You had Dean Ambrose get involved. They were triple teaming Cody and Goldust until Big Show came out, and this is actually a good Big Show save. He came out, knocked out everybody, allowing Cody to pin Roman Reigns and beat him 1-2-3. So now Cody and Goldust are the new WWE Tag Team Champions. I love that. I love that a lot. I love seeing Goldust as holding some gold again. You know, he's a champion. That's awesome, and he gets to do it with his brother. I just thought it was a great moment. Great moment to end Raw. The fans loved it. They went crazy. And it was really good. It was a really good way to end Raw. One thing I do want to talk about is they need to change these tag team titles. Like, these tag team, like, WWE has such a good tag team division right now. And I don't think the titles reflect that. I mean, the titles are just these big... I like the design, okay? The design is cool. You got the two Spartan helmets. You know what? That's cool. It's, you know, work together, blah, 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 blah. But the color, make it a gold title. Why is it bronze? Like, it just looks so shitty and worthless. Like, how can you be happy to hold that title? It looks so shitty. So hopefully that's something they can reconsider doing in the future. I mean, we got a new WWE title about a year ago. Almost a year ago around this time. So hopefully they, you know, they're like, oh shit, these tag team titles, they look like shit. Let's get some new ones. At least take the design you already have, make them gold, and put some nice colors on it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. That'd be awesome. So, that was Raw. Really enjoyed that. Happy to see Cody and Goldust as tag team champions. Happy Goldust is tag team I'm just happy Goldust is back on TV, honestly. He's back. He's awesome. Big fan of Goldust. Shit, what can I say? I'm happy to see him back. What else do we got? Next we got NXT. To start the show, we had the Ascension versus Adrian Neville and Corey Graves, and NXT Tag Team title match. Pretty good match. Ascension wins. After the match, Corey Graves turns on Adrian Neville, so they're going to be going into a feud. That should be pretty good. What else do we got? The main events. The rest of the show was shit. Let's talk about the main events. Bo Dallas versus Sami Zayn for the NXT World Title. Sami won. I don't remember how he won, but he came out. JBL came out and said that Bo had his foot on the rope, so the match will restart. So they restarted, and they ended up having a good match. Bo won and retained his NXT title. So I'm gonna hopefully continue the feud there, and I enjoy it. I enjoy Sami Zayn in the Bo Dallas feud. And you know what? I would like to. It would be awesome if it culminates in a ladder match. That'd be great. Put Sami Zayn, put him in his territory. Bo Dallas, he's never been in a ladder match, I think, and I think they could have a good match. They had a good match here, and I think it should be a ladder match to have Sami win. Make it special. Next we got Impact. Impact starts with Dixie putting a bounty on AJ Styles. This was the last episode of Impact going to Bound for Glory. So she puts a bounty on his head. He gets attacked a couple times backstage, but I don't think anyone claimed the bounty. What else happened on this show? Nothing much. Like, it was a pretty calm show to end. Like, to go into Bound for Glory, like, there was really no hype going into it, which I'm not a big fan of. I would like to see some build-up, but whatever. And the show ended with a contract signing, and AJ took out Bully Ray. So that was that. Next we got SmackDown. What happened here? Anything? Oh, Biggie Langston. Let's talk about him. So we had CM Punk versus Biggie Langston. Pretty good match. Punk wins. They had a good little match. After the match, Ryback and Curtis Axel attacked Punk until Biggie Langston makes the save, turning him into a babyface. and I know he ended up winning the Intercontinental title like this edition of Raw, so that's cool to see. And yeah, I'm starting to become more of a fan of Biggie Langston. Like at first, it was kind of like, oh, look at this big guy, like he's just another big guy. When I see a big guy like that, I'm just like, ugh. Like we've seen so many of these big muscle guys, and they just suck. And I'm happy to say that Biggie Langston, he's not one of those typical big muscle guys. He's actually a decent wrestler, so that's good. I'm happy to see him as a babyface and Intercontinental Champion now, so that's cool. And to end the show, we had Daniel Bryan and the Rhodes family versus the Shield, again, in a good match. Bryan and the Rhodes won. Next we got Ring of Honor. What happened here? Oh, this was the post-Ring of Honor World Title Tournament. So when Adam Cole won the title, he actually turned heel too. He attacked Jay Briscoe, and I think he attacked Michael Elgin as well. So whatever, they had some build-up to towards Glory by Honor, which will be, I think we're going to be reviewing that on the next episode of Weekly Wrestling Review as well. So the next episode of Weekly Wrestling Review will be pretty stacked. We're going to have a pay-per-view from each company. We're going to have Bound for Glory, Glory by Honor, and Hell in a Cell. So that'll be nuts. At least if I can find Glory by Honor. I haven't been able to watch the past couple Ring of Honor pay-per-views. Just for them, they're on their game when it comes to their online piracy. So I haven't been able to watch the past couple episodes. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch Glory by Honor, but one of the matches is going to be all the champions versus all the #1 contenders in a 2-hour 8-man tag match. And last time they did this, they went well over an hour, and I believe this match went over an hour as well. So can't wait to see that. Should be a good match. To end the show, we had Jay Lethal versus Matt Taven for the Ring of Honor TV title. Good match. Taven wins and retains his TV title. Alright, so that's it for the reviews. Let's actually go into some wrestling news now. So first, let's talk about RVD. Yes, Bound for Glory, or not Bound for Glory, Battleground was his last work day. He will be... he's going to take some time off, as you probably already know. He hasn't been on TV for a while. And, yeah, I think it kind of sucks. I liked having RVD back on TV. You know, he had a good run with Del Rio and the Shield, and he actually did some pretty important stuff. And I'm happy to see that. And apparently he's supposed to be coming back around the Royal Rumble time, which I think will be a perfect time for him. I'm interested to see what he will do at WrestleMania, if anything, but yeah, should be good. So sadly, for now, RVD will not be on WWE, but Royal Rumble's just around the corner, so hopefully he'll be back. I know Rey Mysterio just came back, and I actually think he's injured already. I heard that he came back and he's already injured, but I haven't checked more up on the rumors, so that's that. Let's actually talk about Hulk Hogan next. Hulk Hogan won, you know, he recently left TNA, and there was a lot of rumblings like, is he going to go to WWE? Is he going to go back to TNA? What's going to happen with Hulk Hogan? Now, apparently he's not with TNA anymore, which I think is the best decision. Like, what I think is best is don't go to TNA, Hulk Hogan. Just go to WWE, you know, make the special appearances. I think it'd be awesome for him to be at WrestleMania 30, like Hulk Hogan, who main evented WrestleMania 1, coming and doing something with somebody at WrestleMania 30. What I think they should do is they should have they should induct Ultimate Warrior into the Hall of Fame, since he was in 2K14. So that kind of seems like he's on good terms with WWE. Have Ultimate Warrior get inducted, Hogan inducts him, and then the two of them do something together at, I don't know, maybe with like 3MB or something at WrestleMania. I just think it'd be a great moment for WrestleMania 30, so that would be cool to see him come back. But please don't come back to TNA. You've done everything. You've raped TNA of all their money and shit, so hopefully TNA can start paying their other wrestlers that actually wrestle and actually earn the money, So hopefully, you know, with him leaving, other TNA wrestlers can get paid, and maybe they can quit their second job. That'd be pretty cool. And God, we'll talk about in the next edition of Raw, the whole Impact 365 where they got all these clips. I don't know. We'll talk about it on the next weekly wrestling review. But yeah, so next we got TNA Knockouts. Taryn Terrell actually announced that she is pregnant, and she will be she's pregnant and she's going to be giving birth sometime in 2014. So that kind of sucks. I kind of compare this to the Karma situation, where Karma, she was on a good, she debuted in WWE. She was on a good run, on a good track to like doing something big in the in the women's division, Divas division, whatever you want to call it. And then she got pregnant, and then that kind of messed everything up, and then we never saw her again. Hopefully this doesn't happen with Taryn Terrell, where, you know, she had a lot going for her, and then, boom, she's pregnant, and then we never see her again. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully she can come back, and I don't know, like, when would she come back by? Like, if she gives birth in 2014, I don't know when, if it's early. Let me actually read this. Just as sometime in 2014. So let's just say if she gives birth in March of 2014, she probably wouldn't be back till like the end of 2014. They might release her by then. That's kind of shitty. But that sucks. I mean, it's good. It's good and bad. Like, congratulations for her and having her first child. But she's probably gonna lose a lot of money. You know, she probably could have won the TNA Knockouts title, and that would have been pretty cool. But no, that sucks. Next we got Low Key. Some big news on Low Key. So not recently, this happened October 14th, over a month ago. Low Key, so ever since he was released by WWE in 2010, he's been competing in Japan. And he was recently injured in a match for All Japan Pro Wrestling. And after hurting himself, he tweeted it out. He said, "Due to All Japan Pro Wrestling not honoring their contractual obligation to medical care after being injured in All Japan Pro Wrestling, I am retiring from pro wrestling." So, I actually haven't heard a lot from Low Key. I mean, the last thing I heard about him was he was actually retired, but apparently he never did retire, and now he is retired. I don't know if he's actually retired this time, but if he is, that kind of sucks. You know, that's actually two people that have retired pretty early. I mean, last person that retired was BJ Whitmer, and he broke his neck, and he ended up retiring. So that sucks to hear that Low Key. I always liked Low Key. I wish he came back to TNA, and with the way TNA is going now in their direction, I think he could get a pretty good push. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know if he's actually retiring or just like threatening to retire. But that kind of sucks. What else do we got? Oh, let's talk about WWE and who they got interested for WrestleMania. So, Hulk Hogan isn't the only name that they want for WrestleMania. Apparently, they want Goldberg for WrestleMania as well. And they have this idea to have Goldberg versus Ryback, which I think would be absolutely terrible. But whatever. You know, two similar people are not always good in one match. But they just released a Goldberg DVD. They want Goldberg at WrestleMania. Will it happen? I highly doubt it. Goldberg has said if he's going to come back for another match, he's not going to lose, because apparently losing means everything in a fake sport. Like, who gives a shit? You already had one of the biggest undefeated streaks in all of pro wrestling, and you can't afford to lose another match? Like, come on, that's just ego now. And you'll probably make a shit ton of money from that match, and then make appearances after that match, and just promotes you as an individual. It promotes whatever you're doing. If Goldberg's in a movie around that time, they'll promote the movie, so he'll make more money off the movie, because more people will watch it, and I don't know, probably make an action figure out of it, makes money off that, be in the next WWE game, makes more money off that. I don't know, whatever, but he doesn't want to lose, so I don't know if we'll see Goldberg at WrestleMania 30. But another person WWE wants as well is Sting, and apparently Sting, they want him to appear at WrestleMania 30. I don't think that'd be as big as they want. Like, I would be cool to induct him and stuff, but I don't know, unless he's going to take on The Undertaker, there's really no reason for him to be at WrestleMania, because like the fans wouldn't know who he is. At least the younger fans are just like, oh, that's a cool guy in face paint. Who's that? But the older fans go, oh shit, that's crazy Sting. But I don't know. I don't think Sting being a part of WrestleMania 30 wouldn't be as big. If he was taking on the Undertaker, that'd be cool. But just him there by himself making an appearance, I don't think it would be that cool. That's just my opinion, though. But we'll see. We'll see if he stays with TNA or goes to WWE. But I don't know. I think there's a likely chance he'll go and go to WWE. I think, like, if you list all the reasons I did with Goldberg, you know, if he goes there, he makes some money. You know, might be a part of the video game, might be a part of the Hall of Fame, gets more appearances, makes a lot of money. And he'll probably make more money there doing all that stuff than he ever did with TNA. So, I don't know. But I think he does make a good amount with TNA. So, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Do you want to see Sting in WWE make an appearance at WrestleMania 30? Let me know in the comments. But, I don't know. Unless he's Wrestling Taker, I think it's stupid. So, that is it for the weekly wrestling review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Come back next time where we have reviews for Bound for Glory, Hell in a Cell, Glory by Honor if I can watch it, and reviews for Raw, Smackdown, Impact, NXT, Ring of Honor, and some more wrestling news. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Come back next time, and until then, guys, peace